Hi guys, welcome back to HHG Studios. Today I'm going to be giving you a few tips on how to style your coffee table. Coffee tables or cocktail tables. In the past, they used to call them center table, and persons would put them center of the room. But coffee tables really, or cocktail tables, should be close enough to the longest sofa, usually the three-seater, and about 18 inches in fact from it. And it should be parallel to the sofa, not perpendicular, parallel to the sofa. 18 inches, because you're supposed to be able to comfortably access the table with your drink or your coffee. All right, let's start dressing the table. Now, this is a relatively big coffee table. It's 30 inches by 50 inches. Some coffee tables are bigger, some are smaller. And what you want to do is make your coffee table a sort of display area, a space that you display interesting things. You don't want to crowd it, but you don't want to just put one thing on the coffee table, because there's space there for interesting things. One, I'd usually recommend that you put a few coasters on the coffee table, because that will be quick protection. If you have drink to put down, then cold drink, you want to put it on a coaster. So you want to include a few coasters. I've already started with this, which is, a friend gave me this several years ago and I really love it so much. So I've added just a candle to it and stones and so on. Pretty stones. So I've lit the candle this time. This one is behaving. Candles don't always behave. Sometimes they're very difficult to light, but this one is working well. How much you put on the coffee table will be dependent on the size. If it's a small coffee table, you want to limit the amount of things to a few. If it's a large coffee table, you can add more. But the important thing is that it's not so crowded that you have no space left. All right? So keep in mind, you're going to place interesting objects, but you're going to leave enough space for whether you want to place a glass or just space in between the things, because you want them to stand out on their own. One of the things I usually do is, if you notice, the rug carries a turquoise and it also carries a rust, and I like to add some of the color from the rug to the coffee table, because it just helps in terms of connecting the two. So this is really a bird. This is really a candle holder for the garden, but I love it and I use it. So this was how I brought in turquoise. I also found this little jar and I'm going to put it to the side. And again, the layering takes place because they're different heights, different sizes, and they're not positioned straight in line. Books, I'm going to put a few books over here, and the books again are different shapes, different sizes I should say. So I'll put some books. I'm going to angle the books. This is my domino box with my dominoes, but it's no ordinary box. It's a pretty box, trinket box. So I'll put that there. I like to add organic things to most of my displays, and this is just, I don't even know what it is, but I find it interesting, and I'm going to place that there. So a little extra layering. I like this as a candle holder, which I got at a wedding, and I'm going to add that here. And then a little bit. And that's that one for the first display. Notice there's plenty of space in between, but they're interesting items. Vary your coffee table display. Sometimes it's for a special season or just because you want a little change. And so I'm going to do another display. And in this case, I'm going to use mainly books. I'll use back these books. And I'll turn these at an angle again. You know, there are special books that are called coffee table books. Gonna put some coffee table books. You could do them straight line if you prefer that, but I like them usually at some sort of angle. Could add this one with Michelle Obama. Books. Well, could add this one as well. Then I'm going to put a centerpiece in this one, and there, I know we love orchids, so we're going to do an orchid display here. And then perhaps just a few little jars to create a sort of, this is one group in here, and then the books. Like I said, the books can be straight or they can be at an angle. I just prefer angles. I'm going to put back the coasters. They don't have to be very visible, so I'll put them here so they're readily accessible. And that's it. One thing. Okay, I usually don't recommend that you place picture frames on coffee tables because usually the backs are not as attractive. So unless you can place it and something else is to the back, it's best to use picture frames like on sideboards or something where the back is going to be hidden. All right? Latoya, you said you had some questions.
Yes, I do. I know this is something maybe traditional, but I've oftentimes seen persons with runners on coffee table. Is that supposed to be?
I'm not a fan of doilies on coffee tables, but to each his own. Runners I like on a dining table because it helps to pull the dining table together, whatever you're placing on the dining table together.
Okay. So if I don't have books, can I use magazines on coffee table?
Sure, you can use magazines on a coffee table.
Okay. So it depends on the size of the table for the size plant then.
Well, for anything you're putting on the table, it's going to be dependent on the size. A single orchid will probably fit on most coffee tables. But then it depends, you now would have to decide how much else can go on the table. So the table size determines how much you can put on. Styling your coffee table is a sure way to add personality to your space. But here are some other things you can do to make your home warm and welcoming. Create cozier spaces by pulling seatings together rather than spreading furniture around the room. Well-arranged vignettes can add personality to any room and lead to interesting conversations and warm and even nostalgic experiences.